Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about something incredible, something that's happening all around us all the time, but you can't even see it. It's this hidden, fundamental process that, well, keeps everything alive. We're talking about the carbon cycle.
Just imagine for a second, what if the very air you're breathing right now is part of a secret? A delicate dance that's happening constantly, and it's the very thing that sustains all life on Earth. It's this invisible ballet of an element, constantly moving between the air, the oceans, and us. So come on, let's dive in and see what this is all about.
So to really get this invisible ballet, we need to meet the main character, the star of the show, and that is the element carbon. Seriously, it's the absolute backbone of life on our planet.
I mean, think about it. It's actually incredible. Every single living thing, I'm talking from the tiniest microbe to the biggest blue whale, is built from carbon. It's what makes up the complex molecules, like our DNA and proteins. To put it simply, without carbon, there's no you, no me, no life as we know it. Simple as that.
Okay, so what exactly is this carbon cycle? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like Earth's ultimate recycling program. See, we've got a limited amount of carbon on the planet, right? So this cycle makes sure it's constantly being reused, moving from the atmosphere to the Earth and back again. It just keeps traveling between these different storage spots.
All right, now here's where it gets really interesting. This whole cycle, it doesn't just run on one schedule. Nope, it's actually got two completely different speeds. It's like our planet has two clocks ticking away, but at totally different paces. And to get a handle on these two clocks, we first have to figure out, well, where is all this carbon hanging out? These are the main storage bins. You've got the atmosphere, as CO2 and methane. Then there are the oceans, which are the largest active pool, huge. Then you have the terrestrial biosphere. That's basically all the plants, animals, and soil. And finally, the geosphere, which is all the carbon locked away in rocks, sediments, and, fossil fuels.
So you've got the fast cycle and the slow cycle. And the difference is massive. The fast cycle, that's the biological one. It's about the quick give and take of carbon between living things. We're talking timescales of days, months, maybe a few years. But the slow cycle? That's a whole different story. That's geological. It's about rocks, volcanoes, processes that lock carbon away for millions and millions of years.
Okay, for now, let's just focus on the fast one, the fast cycle. This is the one that really affects us on a day-to-day basis. It's the grand exchange of life.
And at the heart of it all is this little bit of magic called photosynthesis. I mean, plants are just incredible, aren't they? They literally breathe in the carbon dioxide that's in the air, use sunlight and water, and turn it into food for themselves. And the best part? As a little gift back to us, they release the oxygen that we all need to survive.
So that's one half of the equation. The other half? Well, animals come along and eat those plants, right? So the carbon becomes a part of their bodies. And then, every time we breathe out, we're releasing carbon dioxide back into the air. That's respiration. And of course, when plants and animals die, all the little decomposers get to work, breaking them down and sending that carbon back into the soil and the atmosphere. It's a perfect loop.
And we absolutely cannot forget about the oceans. They are a huge, huge player in this fast cycle. You've heard of blue carbon? That's what this is. It's the carbon that gets captured by coastal ecosystems. Think of mangroves, seagrass meadows. These places are super efficient at grabbing carbon and locking it away. And they can store it for thousands of years. Just amazing.
So for thousands, millions of years, this whole system has been in this beautiful, perfect balance. But then we came along. And in a cosmic blink of an eye, human activities have started to, put a very heavy thumb on the scale. We're disrupting this whole delicate dance.
So how are we doing that? The main way is by digging up all that carbon that was safely tucked away in this slow cycle, coal, oil, and gas, and just burning it. We're releasing it into the atmosphere at a mind-boggling speed. And on top of that, things like deforestation mean there are fewer trees around to help soak up all that extra carbon we're pumping out. And the result? Oh, just look at this number, plus 52%. That's how much we've increased the CO2 in the atmosphere since pre-industrial times, over half. That's a staggering, almost unbelievable change in what is, geologically speaking, no time at all.
This really puts it into perspective. The natural carbon exchange, that's the balanced one. It's massive, but what goes out also comes back in. It's a stable loop. But then you look at human emissions. Here's the key. It's a one-way trip. We're just adding and adding carbon, and the natural system just can't keep up.
It's struggling to absorb this new, unprecedented amount.
Okay, so we've got this imbalance. The big question is, why does it matter? So what? Well, it matters because when you pump that much extra carbon into the atmosphere, it doesn't just stay there. It creates this huge ripple effect that touches every part of our planet.
And it all comes down to the greenhouse effect. Now, the greenhouse effect isn't a bad thing on its own. We actually need it. The CO2 in our atmosphere acts like a cozy blanket, trapping just enough of the sun's heat to make Earth a nice, warm place to live. The problem is, by adding all this extra CO2, we're basically throwing a bunch of extra heavy blankets on top, and things are starting to get way too hot. And this thicker blanket, well, it leads to some serious consequences. First, there's the enhanced global warming and the widespread climate change that comes with it. But it's not just the air. It's having a massive impact on our oceans, too. As the oceans soak up more and more CO2, the water actually becomes more acidic. This is terrible for marine life. And get this, it also makes it harder for the ocean to absorb more CO2 in the future.
Just take a moment and let this fact sink in. The amount of CO2 in our air right now is greater than at any time in the last 3.6 million years. Let me say that again, 3.6 million years. We have literally changed the chemistry of our planet's atmosphere on a geological scale.
So, that brings us to the big, final question, doesn't it? This incredible invisible ballet, the carbon cycle, it's kept our planet in a stable, life-giving rhythm for millions of years. Nature figured out the balance. The question for us is, can we learn to work with it again? Can we find our place in that rhythm once more? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.